Hmm? Yeah, I'll try to see what you was doing. See what during school. Hello and welcome to Talking To. I am Justin, one leg of this amazing table where every week we lay out a spread for you to look at, for you to talk about, for you to eat, digest, spit out the bone. I hope you're having a happy Sunday because we're definitely happy that you are tuning in. Do us a favor, like, share, and let somebody know that Talking To is live and we're here. And without further ado, I would like to bring in the what do I call him? The superstar, none other than Rufus Bill. What's going on, man?
What's going on,
The
Justin? How are
superstar.
you today?
I'm good, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine.
And we have I call her the fragrance. I gave her that nickname sometime last year.
That you
None
did.
the fragrance of the show, none other than Joanne Tosin Fuller. What's going on, Joanne?
Hey, I like that. Oh, just warm my heart.
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm
How
gonna tell
y'all
you what's up.
doing?
You see this hat right here? This is all the way what's up.
That's what's
Okay.
up.
Okay, go blue. I
Oh,
know.
that's right. We
Yes,
took it
go
on
blue.
in yesterday.
Huge game yesterday. Huge. I mean, Michigan went into Ohio State, not only won, they haven't beat Ohio State in Ohio State since the year 2000. So we're talking about
Wow. 22
decades ago.
years.
Yeah, now they beat them last year at Michigan. Everybody thought that was a fluke. Oh, they was at home, whatever. And this year, Michigan went into Ohio State and bent them over they lap and tore that butt up. Okay, they tore it
That
up.
wasn't a spanking. That was a beating.
It was a beating. And I was so irritated watching the pregame show because you had all these analysts and commentators on Fox that I'm pretty sure get big bucks, whatever. And all of these jokers, except one, the Michigan man, being Charles Woodson. Everybody else picked Ohio State to win and said that Michigan couldn't do this and Michigan couldn't do that and they couldn't throw the ball downfield. And, they just really criticized. And I'm like, okay, did y'all watch the game last year? Because last year, Michigan didn't throw the ball down the field and they still blew them out. So I don't, and it's crazy because this year's team is actually so much better than last year's team. Like last year's team was luck. They just the ball just kept going in their favor and they showed up and they played. This year's team is talented, like beyond talented. And guess what? Michigan threw the ball downfield. All the criticism of our quarterback, a sophomore quarterback who played sparingly last year, 19 years old, to go into that environment of 100,000 plus people, yelling different things and to be calm, cool, collected. I mean, he played like he was a vet. I mean, it was an amazing experience, and it felt so good. Oh my God, it felt so good.
Did you have any friends that were for the other side?
I did. So funny you say. I went to some spot in Sterling Heights to watch the game, and one of my guys that were there. Well, he's not my friend. He's a friend of a friend, but I know him. He's a Buckeye fan. And I'm like, dude, you're just weird. Like, how you live in Michigan and you're a Buckeye fan? Like, how does that even happen? Let's just say, like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, he left. He left.
He was shamefaced.
Yeah, it was still time left, and he left. But he left. Oh, don't talk about listen. Your team got their butts wet. When we don't care, and we're gonna say it. People don't forget Ryan Day, the Ohio State head coach, last year said that he was going to hang 100 on us, and he ain't even beat us yet. So, but once, so he need to go somewhere and sit down. Your team need to go. Actually, your team need a new coach. What they need to do? They need a new coach. Go find somebody else. Somebody else might be able to do it for y'all.
He said, "Go have a couple of seats."
Yeah, have pick several seats.
Oh my goodness!
So she's bringing up something that's very, very, very interesting. She says, "I hope Ohio State still gets a chance in the finals." So you understand, if you guys don't, there's a coaches poll and there's a national poll. These national polls and coaches polls, they rank the top 25 teams in the country, right?
Right.
But then there's the playoff committee, a separate committee that is comprised of some sports writers as well as some athletic directors. They rank the teams 1 through 4 to say who's going to go to the playoffs, right?
Okay.
So you could be number 1 in a coaches poll and be number 5 in a playoff ranking. It just all depends on first place votes and who votes. The interesting thing is, Georgia won, so Georgia stays number 1, rightfully so. Michigan, and this is America, this is the coaches poll. Michigan moved up to number 2. They put TCU, who was previously number 4, at number 3, and they have put USC at number 4. Now it's going to be interesting Tuesday to see what does the playoff committee think, because is a 1-loss USC team better than a 1-loss Ohio State team, when Ohio State lost to the number 3 team in the country? USC might have lost to who knows to who they lost to. So it's kind of interesting to see how those variables, and they look at strength of schedule to see how that works. In my honest opinion, as a Michigan man, I'll say I believe Ohio State deserves to be the number 4 team. Even though they lost to Michigan, they lost to the number 2 or 3 team in the country. So in my mind, it should be Georgia at number 1, Michigan at number 2, TCU at number 3, and Ohio State at number 4. That means for the first round of the playoffs, Georgia would play Ohio State and Michigan will play TCU. I think that's fair, because I think the 1-loss Ohio State team, they lost to the number 2 team in the country. That should carry more weight depending on who USC lost to. But we don't know. We won't know the Tuesday. So it's going to be pandemonium. It's going to be crazy. But that go to show you how fair I am. I'm not saying I believe Ohio State should be the 4th team.
Well, I heard Ohio State just sucks. No, I'm just playing.
I'll tell you this: Ohio State and Michigan were both undefeated. They were both 11-0. And how the Big Ten is structured, which is kind of dumb. The Big Ten is structured. There's an East Division and there's a West. So the best team from the East plays the best team in the West, which that is this Saturday will be the Big Ten championship game. That's kind of a flawed system, because we're going to play Purdue. Purdue has 4 losses, right? Ohio State has 1 loss. So just because Ohio State is in the same conference with Michigan, that makes this 4-loss team, go to the championship. It should be 1 conference and the 2 best teams. So Michigan should be playing Ohio State again this Saturday for the Big Ten. I think that's only fair, but I guess they're trying to get some. They put all the top schools in one category. So Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Maryland, and Indiana. It's a couple other schools that are in our division. And then there's the West Division. So it's crazy.
Well, I know everybody's going to be looking forward to seeing that game and seeing the outcome. But until then, we are going to hold our team up and stick our chest out.
Yes, sir.
And know that what was that song? We are the champions.
We are the champions. Michigan actually, they're Big East champions, which obviously means nothing. They need to become Big Ten championships, and they have to play Purdue first this Saturday. Yep,
Purdue.
Oh yeah, that's over there in your area, Joanne.
Yeah. Purdue Boilermakers.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that they're actually planned, and the Big Ten championship is always at the Colts Stadium in Indianapolis. So that's pretty much going to be a home game for Purdue fans because they going, right down the road to Indiana, for the game. So that's crazy.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So if you're just in, we want you to like, share, let somebody know that we're live. We haven't got into a deep conversation yet, just kind of covering some sports. How Michigan beat Ohio State this weekend. But we definitely have an awesome show planned for you guys today.
I agree.
Did you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving?
Yes, Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving, Joanne?
It was good. I was in Toronto. Yes, okay. Canada.
Yeah. So how did that work? Tell us about the trip. Tell us about the
You know what? It was good. I left out early Thursday morning, and my brother and his family, my sister-in-law, my niece, they all live right outside of Toronto.
Okay.
And so drove there. Ride was wonderful, beautiful, and got to just relax. And they wouldn't let me do anything. I couldn't cook, couldn't do anything.
What?
No. I wasn't complaining either because I had done enough.
I know. Yes, you have.
The last person picked up my order at 9:30 Wednesday night, or their order, I should say. But and then they took us down to the CN Tower. So that's where we had Thanksgiving dinner, at the top of the CN Tower.
Really?
And as it's almost like what was it called? The Summit.
Right.
In the Renaissance, where you could it just slowly turns and you can see the whole city as you're eating, and the atmosphere and the ambiance so that's where we had Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday evening. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was so nice.
So what did you have for dinner? I need to know what was on that plate. Did you get
what was on my plate?
Turkey dressing, some macaroni. What you get?
No, they're and it's not Thanksgiving there either, because their Thanksgiving is in October.
That's
the first Monday in October. Yeah, so that's their Thanksgiving.
Now, why is their Thanksgiving different than what do they have a random Thanksgiving, or they're centered around something?
Theirs is centered around something, but don't ask me what it's centered around, because I don't know.
I'll look it up. I
really don't know. But theirs is that first, I think it's the first Monday in October. I think that's right. Yeah, because we've gone there and celebrated with them also.
Okay.
But on my plate, I had salmon with kale. Oh, first I had this. It was a salad that I've never seen a salad like this before. It was beautiful and it was good, but it was just this beautiful with the greens and the color and it was really good. And then I had salmon with kale and this what do you call it when they whip it up, but it was like mashed potatoes, but they were really whipped. It was really good. I like my mashed potatoes. So my brother, my niece had rack of lamb, lamb shank, and I think Rick had, my husband, he had chicken, and my brother had
so it was a family affair.
Yeah, it was just us. It was the five of us.
I thought it was like you and your husband romantic date night type of thing. It was a family dinner.
It was a family affair.
Okay. That's what's up.
But it was so
good. Did you know that salmon is a traditional dish for Canada's Thanksgiving?
Really?
I didn't know that. I love salmon. Yeah. Most people who know me know if we go out, if they got salmon, I'm getting the salmon. Yeah, but I really, and it was so good, and it wasn't overcooked. It was tender. It just melted in your mouth. But it was really a nice experience. It really was. Just to walk downtown Toronto and
you're gonna make me have to take a trip. So
you need to take a trip.
I haven't been to Toronto. It's been a minute. So I used to go to the Caribana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody chimes in, you know that.
Yeah, Carabana was amazing. Yeah. So I am went. So
but you and your wife need to just go and just stay right downtown, and just so much to walk to and see, and especially when it's not a whole lot of Carabana. It's just
it's a lot of people. Yeah,
it's people, and this was just nice because it wasn't a lot of people, and the weather was perfect. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, so that's how. And the weekend was just relaxing. It was just really nice just to relax, literally.
When did you make your way back?
I just got back probably an hour ago.
Oh wow!
I know,
a little over an hour ago. Okay. Yeah,
just in time for the show.
Right, fresh out from the
road. Yeah. All right, Rufus, how was yours? How did you celebrate?
My Thanksgiving was celebrated at home. I did nothing. I watched TV. My meal consisted of oatmeal, brown sugar and maple flavor, and what else did I have? Yogurt and granola.
Now listen. So this was just must have been your choice because
this is my choice.
Okay, this is your choice. So were you tired of or you just wanted to what was it for you?
That I didn't want to get up and drive anywhere to go get the plates, and I couldn't convince anyone to drop them off. So
if you don't come get it, you like.
So I was like,
okay. I hate to hear that.
I know.
But you know what? Sometimes those days are the best days when you can just
I'm still waiting on one of those days to come in my life.
You got little ones.
Whenever I don't have nothing to do, I find something to do. I think I need to find my off switch and press it and just break it, and be broke for a while. I wish I could. I just can't. It's just always something that needs to be done.
It's hard. And that's, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go away, because I know if I was here, I know I'd find something to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons where I really wanted to go away. And for me, I needed to, because everybody always tells me, you need to sit down. You and they say the same thing. You don't have an off switch. You just steady. But but as I'm realizing too that I need to take that time.
Yeah.
That you need to just chill and do nothing. And it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And I guess I pride myself on being productive and get stuff done and tackling tasks. So the point that there is no task. I guess if I'm on vacation, then I can relax. If I'm in a different scenery, different place, at home, not gonna happen. But I did plan next Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go to Arizona to be with my brother. So that's gonna be So they kind of want to do that experience. I'm gonna do Thanksgiving for Christmas next. But I know next Thanksgiving I'm gonna be in Arizona for sure.
Oh, that's gonna be nice.
Very nice.
Warmer weather too.
Warmer weather. Yeah. Can't beat it.
Yep. So is this brother older or younger?
Older. Yep. Okay. He's probably about to turn 43, 44.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I found out the reason why they have Thanksgiving in October is because that's when their harvest starts. Or
second Monday in October.
Yep, second Monday in October.
Yeah.
Well, what did you do, Justin?
What I do for the holiday?
Yeah.
So what did I do? So I worked.
Oh, that's right. You did say you worked.
So yeah, I was on Woodward. It was supposed to be a float details, but it wasn't no floats. So maybe the floats came after I left, I guess. I don't know. But I was at work from 11 o'clock until about 7 a.m. or about 6 something in the morning. And we had the whole route blocked off. And so you couldn't drive down Woodward, but you could cross Woodward from Warren all the way to Grand River, Campus Martius. So we had to at 5 o'clock, we had to turn the barricades from shutting down north and west traffic on Woodward to blocking east and west traffic, so that now the parade route would be open, but nobody could come onto Woodward or drive on Woodward.
Gotcha.
Yep. So if you watch the parade, I hope that happened. No, just flare.
You're responsible.
Right, you're responsible. So, so I got up maybe like around 7. No, maybe like 8. No, I take it back. I think I got up around right before when I woke up, the Lions was getting ready to play.
Okay.
Noonish. I got up around noonish and watched the game for a little bit of the day and everything. And then I eventually left and went over to my aunt's house. And that's where I ate at home. I didn't really eat out, whatever. So I ate really good. And actually, I learned a new game. Somebody showed me a game called 2500. I think it's called 5000, but they just say 2500. It's like almost like Tunk, but you keep points and stuff like that. It's a very cool game. Very cool card game. It was something new. I learned it. I liked it a lot. And the kids played. The boys was roughhousing, tackling each other. We have a tradition of playing like the Nintendo Wii with 10 different players at one time fighting games, stuff like that. So it was just a family atmosphere, good time, good food, good loves, and most of all memories. Good memories.
Yes, that's
good.
The best. That's the best.
That is the best.
Yes.
So Joanne, you have our show planned today, and some topics.
Well, you know what? I just wanted to just talk about I guess safety, especially for our women. Some of the things that are going on in the news. I was reading an article this weekend, and I was trying to find out the exact date, but I don't know if you heard about in Kansas City, where there was I think it was earlier this month, where a lady was first of all these women, these Black women, have been coming up missing in Kansas City. And the police, they felt like there was the citizens felt there was either a serial killer, but somebody was doing this. But the police kind of just shoved it off, like, oh no, there's no serial killer here, and there's no. But with this one lady, I guess, escaped and went to one of the neighbors, and all she had on was like almost like one of the big black garbage bags. And so one of the neighbors, she went there and asked for help, and the neighbor, she said at first she was kind of hesitant, but she realized when she looked at her, because it looked like she had duct tape around her neck and had been, even her arms and all of that. But come to find out, and so she did, call 911, even though the person that was escaping from this man didn't want her to call 911 because he was scared that he would kill both of them. But she called 911, and come to find out, this man had killed 2 of her friends, had abducted them. And all these women that he's white, and all these women that he abducted were Black. They found out that he killed 6 women, and 2 of her friends. And I guess she was next. But just how, we have to, and I'm not saying that we should live scared, but we have to be careful. We have to keep our eyes open. We have to watch. We have to just know who our true friends are. Then I think about the girl that got killed in Mexico, who traveled supposedly with her best friends, who beat her to death, basically. And that just happened, that's been all over the news. So just want to, and I don't want to scare people, but I want people to open their eyes and be cautious and be, especially our women. And it seems like, and the guy that in Kansas City, come to find out, he is one of those Aryan race people.
Really?
Yes. So so that lets me know that's why all the women that he kidnapped and killed were black.
Now, is this in Kansas City, Missouri?
Yes.
Kansas City, Missouri.
This is from the Missouri Independent. Spotlight is on Kansas City and its problem of missing black women. Kansas City police insist that the rumor of a serial killer targeting black women were false. Now that a kidnapped black woman has been found, the story is not cut and dried. Let me see. On October 7th, a terrified 22-year-old black woman escaped from a home in Springfield. She told police that she had been locked up there for about a month after being abducted from Prospect Avenue in Kansas City by a man who lives in the home. The man, Tim Haslett Jr., 39, is in custody facing charges of rape, kidnapping, and assault in Clay County. The woman told neighbors and police that she was restrained in a small room in his basement where he repeatedly raped, beat her, tortured her. She managed to escape when he took his elementary-age son to school. The woman told a neighbor and police something else. There were other victims, she said, women who didn't make it out. The woman's escape and Hasl's arrest occurred a month after the Kansas City Defender, a black-owned newspaper publication, published a video of Bishop Tony Caldwell, a community and church leader, alerting the public that at least several black girls and women were missing from Prospect Avenue corridor. We got 4 young ladies that have been murdered within the last week off of here at 85th Street. Caldwell said in the video, we have a serial killer again. So pretty much authorities in Kansas City. Yep. So pretty much multiple black women were being missed from this specific area, from this street, and nothing was being done about it. A black pastor was spotlighted by a black news article to give awareness, and still nobody listened. It took for this 22-year-old female
to escape
before
they believed anybody.
Now,
that's so sad.
It is. What is amazing to me about this situation is that there was a known targeted area where these women were being abducted, and still no assistance from any authority, and so many lives could have probably been saved had someone just really listened, And I was going to ask, which seems strange or odd, I should say, because if you see someone that's a white man driving in the neighborhood consistently, and I'm going to assume that this is predominantly a black neighborhood where you might not see a lot of outsiders.
Now, they're not saying exactly where they were abducted, but they were in his neighborhood. And in fact, the lady that she ran to, she was white.
Okay.
I'm getting from this article, it says that they were all kidnapped from this specific street, from this specific neighborhood. The neighborhood. Yeah. So he was obviously targeting
that one
neighborhood. And he said, it says, we've got 4 ladies that have been murdered within the last week off of here at 85th and Prospect. Yeah. So he said in the video, so this particular area, I don't know what area it is, but it is street. It's a target. It's a target. Came up missing from there. She was taken from there as well. So,
that takes a lot of nerve to abduct a human being from a street, from an area, put them in your car, and drive off.
Yeah.
Is there a certain term that coins people like this, Justin, in the law enforcement arena?
Sick.
Or that you can sick. Okay.
Sick.
It's just okay.
Well, whether we say that they have a personality disorder, whether they have whatever it is, they're sick. They're mentally ill.
Deranged.
They're battling something. and to abduct these women. And then, the lady, the 22-year-old, said that she made it out when he tried to take his son
to school.
So that means that he got his son in there. Like, oh my God. So what is the son gonna grow up and be?
Exactly.
Mercy.
Because even if he didn't see the women, I'm sure at some point he heard them.
He had to.
And she said some didn't make it out. So if they didn't make it out, they were obviously killed. You know what I'm saying?
They're inside the home.
Inside the home.
And it's just sad that, and like I said, I wanted to bring this forward, not to, because I don't believe in living in fear, but I do believe in being cautious and trying to stay as safe as you possibly can. But I don't believe in living in fear. But did they get in his car willingly?
Right.
I'm not sure where this
and
area.
They could
I'm
be
not sure what
prostitutes.
that area, what
Right.
that area is.
They could all be prostitutes that are easily
right.
targeted.
I don't want to assume
they get in the car.
And I thought that, but I didn't want to assume that. But
yeah, I mean, it's just like I can't say nothing about a lot of women, but one thing I know about Black women is they just ain't getting in the car with nobody. They're gonna have an intent and a purpose, okay? So I don't know if they're prostitutes or not, but it's just strange to me for and he could have took them off the street. We don't know. We don't know how it happened. But I'll say this: I'll give ladies some tips to be safe and stay safe, especially during this holiday season. This is where we see the armed robbery, the carjacking, and the different things spike a lot of times in this area because people are out shopping and doing different things like that. Number one, if you got to stop at a grocery store or a liquor store anyway, and you're in the city of Detroit, stop at a green light location. So many different green light locations. Google green light locations in my area. If you're unfamiliar with green light is basically a monitoring system where the city of Detroit has partnered with businesses, and that live feed is streamed right to police headquarters. So if there's anything going on, we're watching, and we can be dispatched at any moment to come and see. And it's proving, numbers do not lie, that green light crime locations, it's been a number of minutes since I looked at them, but when they first initially started, it was like 30% of crime that happened at gas stations and liquor stores, and decreased by 30% at the onset of green light. So that means that criminals are aware that, hey, don't do that at green light. So if you have to stop late, find out where a green light location is. There's actually a City of Detroit app you can download that you can find out where those locations are. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's right up the street. Fun fact, well, not a fun fact, I guess, but a daunting fact is that most people, who get robbed, killed, or shot or anything is in very close proximity to the house. Because when you're close proximity to the house, you feel like, this is my gas station. I've been coming to this gas station for 20 years. You know what I mean? This is my liquor store. I know the owners of this store. So when you have that mentality, though, you're not on guard. You don't have that. If you was in somebody's neighborhood, you wouldn't be as mindful or watchful. So if it's late, stop at a green light location and don't go into anywhere with the mindset that, I know these people, because kids are steady growing up, and you might not know right around the corner. They might not know you, and it's a bad situation. So number one, green light locations, find out where they are. Number two, avoid having to dig in your purse. If you're going to your car, get your keys out already in advance before you get to the car. Don't find yourself at your car looking for your keys. I'm a grown man who carry a gun, and when I'm going to my car, I get my keys out and they already in my hand. I don't get to the car and try to find, where's the keys at? No, I get them ready. So avoid, being at your car, digging in your purse, whatever, all type of stuff. And number three is avoid being on the phone. You don't realize,
oh my goodness,
how much being on the phone is a distraction, how much you will not see. You think, I'm just on the phone talking to but you didn't notice there's a guy standing 2 feet over there. But the brain doesn't work like that. So limit your distractions. If you're on the phone, hey, I'll call you as soon as I get in the car. Or if you're on, just say, hold on 1 minute, let me get to the car and just stop the conversation. You know what I mean? So that you can be aware. But when you're wearing stuff like earbuds and stuff like that, it's actually canceling out noise. So there's certain things you're not going to hear because there's a natural background. So if you can avoid being on the phone, don't be on the phone. If you can avoid having earplugs in your ear, and that's another thing. If you have headphones in your ear or not, as a criminal, you look vulnerable because they think you're not paying attention. So I think that somebody will be more likely to try something seeing that you have headphones versus not seeing that you have headphones. Yeah. So just take those 3 things in consideration. And I think that's 3 easy tips of how to be safe during this time.
And I know what you were saying, especially with number 2, well, 2 and 3. Number 2 with the keys in your hand. And this was years ago, but I was taught that your keys can actually be a weapon if somebody walks. So if your keys are in your hand, you have, especially if you have a key and somebody, so that can actually be something that you can use as a weapon to give you a little bit of time or give you, something, or even shock them for, that you fighting back, because a lot of them are not used to people fighting back. Or it throws them off when you start to fight back, or when you sticking with something, or when you. So that's what I was taught years ago. So I'm not sure if you feel the same.
I definitely agree. I teach an active shooter class, and I tell people in an active shooter class, if a shooter comes into the room, any and everything is a weapon. If anybody has all the time a day to just shoot, they're gonna keep shooting. But if you throw a book at them, you're going to disorient them a little bit. Well, what is it? Is it a book or is it a gun? Like it disorientates when you do that. So if you have keys, whatever you could find can turn into a weapon and use it. But on weapons, let me say this. One of my biggest pet peeves with women who decide to protect themselves and get CPLs, they keep their guns in their purse. That is the absolute worst place for your gun to be. Because
why is that?
Into the car, and somebody robs you, you can't say, time out.
Hold on.
Let me get you first.
1 minute, please.
1 minute, please. Wait a minute. So that's not going to work. If you're going to carry a gun, it needs to be on your person. It needs to be on your person. You need to be able to grab it, get it, not have to dig through your light bill and and your stuff in your purse to get to it. So definitely, especially if you're out late at night, you're going somewhere. I always say, rule of thumb, if you're going somewhere and you feel like you got to have a gun to go, then don't go. But I understand. But put the gun on your person. Buy a holster. There's many types of holsters you can buy that you can purchase. And if you're carrying a gun, maybe you just can't be cute and carry a gun, okay? Because if you wear a pencil skirt, the gun's going to show. It's going to show. So maybe you got to invest in a thigh holster or something. I don't know. But don't have a gun in your purse because you're not going to be able to call timeout.
Right.
And people don't realize that these interactions, even when we look at police shootings and different things like that, we're talking about 3 to 5 seconds. We're talking about 3 to 5 seconds. We're not talking about 1 minute, 30 seconds. We're talking about these exchanges happens in 3 to 5 seconds. Give me your money or whatever it is. It's literally 3 to 5 seconds. It happens that fast. That fast it happens. And so you don't have time to go in your purse.
You don't. You really don't.
I'm reminded of a story I used to play at this church. I won't say the name, but I played at this church, and I was at a rehearsal one evening, and we were all in the choir stand, and I heard the door open in another part of the church because it was, it had one of those sounds. It says, so the door opened, and I said, I think the door opened, and it was all a bunch of ladies who were in the choir, and when I said that, this is what they did. They picked up their purse and they all put their guns right in their lap. Nobody moved. They said, "Okay, we ready. Let them come. let them come in here."
Oh, wow.
And then, wow.
Right.
Oh no. I think rehearsal would have been over.
You know what? You would think so. Over. We went right on with rehearsal. And it happened to be the pastor that walked in. Yeah, he fortunately for him. But they kept right on singing, and they was looking at that door, and but they were ready. They were ready. They were ready. But I have a piano student who always tells me that they keep their gun in their purse. And I said to them, I said, well, if you need to get it, you wasting time trying to open it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so true. And so then your number 3 point was the phones. That's my pet peeve, especially when I see women, and I'm out maybe at night or whatever, but I see women on the phone, and then and most of them are not even using earpieces. The phone is here, and they're not paying attention, paying attention at all. And it's like, come on, and that's why I don't like the double earbuds, because I feel like I can't hear. I can't hear what's going on around me. So even if I'm outside, whether I'm riding my bike, whether I'm walking, whether I'll have one in, because that's my music and stuff. But you'll never see me wearing both earbuds. You'll never see
not even at home.
Yeah, because it blocks everything. And so I don't understand how people can wear those and they're out and about, because you hear nothing. I shouldn't say you hear nothing, but like you said, the noise, what's in your ears, what's around you, it's like it cancels it. It cancels it out.
And your reflexes is not there,
Yes.
So your brain is not working to the point where you're even worried about anything. And it's real sad in a sense. It's real sad in the sense that I was just having a conversation yesterday at watching the game, and we were talking about me and a friend of mine. We both have young boys, and he was saying that he's putting his son in boxing first chance he get. Now his baby is not even. Well, he just turned 1, and he was saying that he was putting boxing we get because as a man you gotta know how to fight. You gotta know how to fight. And I was like, my son is in karate, but I put him in karate not necessarily so he would know how to fight, but just trying to spark his interest to see what he was into, And I said, I think it's a double-edged sword, because you don't want to change his lens from the standpoint that he has to be a fighter,
right?
Because so I don't want none of my sons in their butts kick or anything like that, right. But I don't want them to grow up thinking that they have to defend themselves always. Like, nah, you be a problem solver. You know what I mean? Now, somebody come knock you upside the head, you better knock them upside the head back. But I think I can teach you that without the emphasis of like, oh, you got to be a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
And it changes the psyche of the mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
That from whatever there is, like you, perfect example. Being a law enforcer, they train you a certain way on how to think, how to protect, how to serve, how to defend. And so, I can see we're not wanting to do, especially on a child.
Yeah, it's just
changing the way that they're thinking to be like those little boys in these various countries who's walking around with guns.
Yeah,
trained killers. Yeah,
they're trained from. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. Yeah. So I fear for our women, because I think we, and I shouldn't say just women, because they're not the only targets, but it seems like, we're just not thinking, we're not using and I have people that I know who feel like, well, I'm on the phone, and even coming to my business, I'm on the phone, but you're walking and you're talking. And then I hear them when I get to the door to open the door. Okay, well, I'm here now. But you still weren't paying attention to what was going on around you.
From there to there.
On the phone cannot help you.
They can't.
And if they care about you, they would say, well, call me when you get inside. Or call me if that's, or call me when you make it. Don't stay on the phone with me because then I'm not paying attention. I'm listening more to you on the phone.
You, right.
And there's nothing that person can do for you.
Nothing.
On that phone. Nothing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I those 3 tips. That's please. Like I said, I don't want women to live in fear.
Right.
You know, I want you to, for me, I live my life. Do I go out at night? I sure do. Am I cautious? I sure am. Do I look around me? Do I, I try to carry crossbodies versus, especially if I'm out at night by myself. I have a crossbody on versus carrying a big bag or big purse. So I try to be cautious. And then my husband, being an ex police officer, he used to get on my all the time. So a lot of those things still ring in my head. He's still okay. Yeah. So and even with the gun thing, you need that gun on you. Don't be carrying. Don't be. Yeah. You need it on you.
No, you need it. No,
and he, sure. So yeah.
And just to piggyback on the whole phone thing. So, like, prime example for women that have younger children, right? Even me, if I'm out with Justin, I have to put him in the car. I have to buckle him in. So that's a lot. My focus is on, So in that token, it's okay to call somebody and have them on the phone just so they can hear. So if anything happens, then they know, okay, she was leaving this. She, what I'm saying, she was putting her son in the car. Her car's like, that's fine, but don't have them in your ear. Don't have it in, just have it on, but make sure it's conversation. You know what I mean? And so you could be aware, because I think that is cool. So I guess I'm not saying don't be on the phone. I'm just saying don't be distracted on the phone and avoid having earpods in or phone in. But you can call somebody and say, hey, I'm walking to the car. I just want to have you on the phone. And you can put the phone in your pocket. I mean, the way these phones work, you can hear everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the person will be able to hear you or hear if you're struggling with somebody, and you will be able to dial 911 and get them on the phone. So that's that's cool. And another habit that some women have is sitting in the car. You get in the car and just sit. I like sitting in the car. I actually sit in the car actually at home. You know what I'm saying? Which at the same time, that's when I'm most vulnerable because I'm at home. I'm not thinking about somebody walking up on me or anything like that. So just be mindful of that. If you're going to sit in the car, make sure every 2 minutes, check your surroundings, look around. You know what I mean? Make sure the door is locked. You know what I mean? You have some cars that once you put the car in park, the door is automatically unlocked because you're getting out. So make sure the door is locked. Keep your head on a swivel. And notice your surroundings. Like if you live in, like, you should be so aware, and it's not, but like to me, if there's a car on my block that I don't recognize, I know, like, who car is that? Because I have a good mental picture of all the cars that I'm always seeing. I'm driving by.
Yep.
So there's a new car. I'm like, who's that? Somebody got company. Somebody got a new boo. Like, what's going on?
Right.
Because I don't reckon this car is out of the norm of being here. You should notice, those things. And, I'm not studying a block or driving the block 5 times. I just always just look around, hi, okay. You see people, okay, whatever. It's important that we know our surroundings. I think sometimes in this world, we try to be so secluded and, where we have neighbors and we don't even talk to our neighbors, but it's like your neighbor is the closest person that can help you. So it's like, if you have a neighbor, you should have their phone number. They should have your phone number because they should be able to, help and assist. I know, something as simple as my neighbor forgot to roll his trash can out and trash can pick up. So he called me and said, hey, can you grab my trash for me? Sure. I'll grab it for you. You know what I'm saying? But when you have that, at the same time, I left my garage open one night. He's texting me saying, hey, buddy, your garage still open. Thank you. I can go and close it. You know what I mean? But when you're so secluded and you're just running in the house, running back in the house, running out the house, running back in the house. No, take some time. I'm not saying I got to be on a best friend basis, but you should know who they are. You should know, like, what they do. You should, like, you wanna know those things. You know what I'm saying? You want to figure it out.
If you've ever paid attention to news reporters who maybe interview someone on the block, They'll say, well, what about Mr. Bill living there? Well, he stayed to himself. He really didn't come out. He didn't say anything. We would see him leaving, or we would see him coming in, and that would be it.
Yeah.
You hear that so often where neighbors are observing their neighbors, but have not engaged with any interaction with their neighbors. So
I miss that. Yeah, I miss that.
Even from the perspective of the person on your block could have the very thing you need. You ever thought about like the guy? He's passed away now. Rest his soul. The guy across the street from me was a Macomb County prosecutor. So, when I found that out, I was ecstatic because he should know the law in and out, So it never got to the point where I had to ask him for legal advice or anything like that. But the mere fact that I knew, he became a resource for me and for everybody that I know, because hold on, I know my neighbor is a prosecutor. Let me call him and see how this works. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you just never know. The guy that lives down the street from me he's an old public school. He said, I want to work in DPS. White guy. He was proud himself on working in DPS. He taught math and DPS. I think he retired from Southeastern, after so many years. But he's an ex-teacher. He loves kids. Just great dude down the street. You know what I mean? If I needed a last minute babysitter, I know he would watch my. You know what I'm saying? I know he would. He's a good guy too. So it's just you don't know what's around you when you just so. Let's open our mind. You know what I mean? And it's too, I play these games, with my kids and all my loved ones. Is if I told you to like, and this is probably extreme. The average person probably doesn't do this. I realize that I'm a cop, so this might be cop jargon, whatever. But it's like you can ask somebody that you deal with every day. Right. So if we go to the same location every single day, I see you here at this location every single day, and I text you one day and I say, hey, meet me at the base or whatever. I don't say directly, meet me at the school, at the base. You should be able to understand what I'm telling you.
Right.
There's obviously a reason why I'm using
those particular words.
Mm-hmm. But if you text me like, what are you talking about? Like,
you're off the friend list.
Exactly. You have to develop that silent communication with your, my kids are too young, they're 3 and 5, but I have a cop friend that lives around the corner from me, right? And he lives around the corner. He comes over to play basketball. So when my kids get old enough, I'm gonna tell them, if something ever happens where you have to run out of the house, you run around the corner, and this is the house you go to, right? So if something mommy's in trouble, whatever the case is, if you need help outside of 911, you can run around the corner, you can go to a specific house, and you can knock on the door, and they're going to help you. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that type of stuff in place. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that, all right, for our kids, and it's everything. If there's a catastrophe, and they say something's coming, and we got to get out of Michigan right now. You know what I'm saying? Where you meeting? What's the family plan?
Right.
You know what I mean? What's the family plan? You have to plan for that, because if you don't plan, you plan to fail.
That's right.
Fail to plan.
And they say that even with, if the house is on fire, make that plan where even if all of you all can't go out the same door, that okay, meet me at the front, the fire hydrant right in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So just those basic things. And I know we had a neighbor, and I miss him, Clem, and God rest his soul. But a lot of people thought Clem was just nosy. I told Clem I don't care, because Clem knew everything, every car. Oh, Joanne, I saw a new car parked in front of your house, or I saw, or he knew everything. And when I would get up and would leave the house, and his front door was always open.
Mm-hmm.
If that front door wasn't open, I knew something was wrong.
Mm.
Either Kellen was sick, or he literally wasn't home. But he rarely, especially later on as he got older, he rarely left the house. But Clem knew everything to the point where I saw you planting some different flowers this summer. Seriously, and I'm serious. So I saw that hat you had on going to church. I saw that hat, girl. You know, so he knew, and it wasn't just me. It was everybody.
The neighborhood.
It was our block. He knew, and I really missed that because he really watched out for everybody. He really did. He watched out. Be careful with so and so. You know, these neighbors just moved in. You know, I've been watching them, and you know, so it's just. But I live between. I have two good neighbors on the side of me, on both sides of me, and I thank God for it. I do. You know, I really do. But like you said, and sometimes we've had people to move in and you try to be friendly, or you try to I'm not trying to get in your business. I'm not I just want to wave, just let you know that, hey, we are friends. And some of them are like,
no way, Jose.
They're not used to, you know,
exactly.
But like you said, you just never know who you might need.
That's right.
You just know, or who might need you. You just never know. You just never know. Yeah.
You know, when you started talking about the safety with the women, and I wanted can you go back and talk about the story with the girl who went to Mexico?
Oh, that is so sad. So, and that it makes you wonder, because these people were supposed to be her best friends.
Her best friends, right?
They say that, you know. And so, in the different videos that I looked at and saw, it was like, and I'm wondering, was this an initiation? To what though? I don't know. Was this, and the guy that was taking the video, you know, and when he made the statement, you're not gonna fight, you're not gonna fight back, you're not gonna fight for yourself, but to go on a vacation with people and then they turn on you. You know, I really would like to hear the full story. You know, it makes you not want to, you know, trust people who say, and then how long, because some people meet people and just because they they think they're their best friends, but they really aren't. To me, a best friend is somebody, and that's this is just me. It's somebody that's been in your life for a while, that you know all the ins and outs. That, you know, I know a lot of people say ride or die. I'm not the ride or die, but who's there for you? Who's there? Right. You know, if you need me, I don't have to be at your house every day. I don't have to. So, but that's just so sad that. And then they left her. And left. You know, they did call the police. I mean, not the police. They did call a doctor. And when the doctor got there, they would not allow the doctor to call 911 or whatever 911 is for Mexico. They would not allow for her to call an ambulance. No, we could just treat her here. And I mean, she literally died right there. And they say there's a lot of contradiction because they said the doctor was trying to do CPR and all that because her vitals just was going down. And they think she died within, 15 or 20 minutes after they literally broke her spine and her neck. Because they said one of the girls literally picked her up and just slammed her down on the ground. Yeah, on the ground. And so now they're talking. Mexico is filing charges, so they're trying to do the extradition to Mexico, and then even now the United States is looking to file charges here. But yeah, and so they said they lied.
Right.
They said she was just drunk. She was just alcohol poisoning. And then basically just left and came home like
there was nothing.
Like nothing. So it's just, you know, and I know even when my son was growing up, how, you know, he would meet people and, this is my cousin. You don't even know this boy. That's not your cousin.
That ain't your cousin.
How people, and some people, because some people need that. Some people need that. But as an adult, you think that you would kind of get past
Yes.
That.
Needing
But
that
they,
type of
and
validation.
then it came out in one story that they wanted to use her credit for something, and she wouldn't. It's so much going on, and I know they're trying to filter it all out and really find out what's going on. But I guess one of the girls that in one of the videos that was actually showed her doing the beating. I mean, she was just slamming this girl. She was, and the girl was just sitting on the floor, and she was just not fighting. And you hear the guy that's doing the video. So I think all of them need to go to jail. You know what? Beat them, then put them in jail, and let the jail whoever and beat them. Because
I tell
sad.
you one thing for sure. I've never been a visitor or a resident of a Mexican jail, but I'm sure it's nothing like a jail in the United States.
No.
And when they get finished with doing the investigation and the charging and the sentencing, and they are in that jail, it's over.
It's over. And they have already said that, first of all, they lied. So they feel like Mexico feels like this was premeditated, that they probably had planned to do this even before they came on this trip.
Before they came on the trip.
So what was it? Was it jealousy? Was it who knows? But I just think it's just sad. I just think it's so that this young lady, pretty girl, they all were pretty to me. That you would, what? To me, that's the only thing I could think of was this an initiation to something? What? I don't know, but why? Why did this turn into this? And they're talking about that they would get at least 30 years. It's 30 to 60 years
in a Mexican jail
for this in Mexico.
Oh,
yes.
They will not last 1 year.
Because I highly doubt though that the United States government would extradite them to be charged in America. The FBI pretty much investigate crimes committed by Americans on foreign soil. So I think they'll probably just handle it here. That would be, I don't know. That's a dangerous.
Inhumane, knowing the type of conditions.
Right. They wouldn't. They're U.S. citizens. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the FBI has power to investigate crimes that doesn't happen on U.S. soil. So I highly doubt they'll be extradited. And due to the nature of, people don't realize most of the practices and stuff, like, the Mexican government, they don't have litigation. So if you was in Mexico and you wanted to sue somebody, there's no such thing. You can't sue anybody. They don't even have that. So I'm pretty sure whatever happened, whatever evidence, it's all, it won't be strong enough, because in America, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, preponderance of evidence. Right. So it better be interesting to see how all of that plays out. Because there's so many factors, variables in it. And the fact of the matter is, we know somebody died. We know there's video of that person being abused, but did her being slammed kill her? You know what I mean? If she was still moving, she wasn't dead on the video. Or did the lack of medical attention? There was it's just so much.
Well, that sounds like the thought process of an attorney. You presented quite a few different scenarios that would make the jury doubt.
doubt. So it's just like, and then who did it? Only one person can be the killer. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So it's very sad. Definitely thoughts and prayers are with the family. Something like this shouldn't happen. I'm not sure what they were, doing or whatever, but shouldn't have happened. And let's all take a note from this to watch people that we associate with and everything. Definitely.
And in closing, want to send out on behalf of Talking To, some words of encouragement in the lost transition of Diane King, who is the mother of Alan and Sharina Hardy, and of Robert and Destiny and Aaron. And she made a transition yesterday, I believe. And so the family really needs our prayers and the prayers of our listeners and viewers at this trying time right now. So I wanted to make mention of that. And having said that, everybody have a great week.
Yes,
likewise.
Joanne, we're glad that you made it back safely, Justin.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service every day. And until next week.
Until next week.
Yes.
Until next week.
Peace.
Peace to everybody.
Yes.